And we are live. Welcome back, everyone. Is your six covered? Appreciate you showing up. Tonight, we got another special guest, and we are going to talk more about women in the shooting sports, whether it's PRS, NRL, USPSA, three gun, whatever the case is. We're trying to get people on the show to talk about promoting the sport of women's shooting as well. So we'll have some fun. Again, I want to remind everybody that we're going to have a very young, pretty lady on here and keep the comments very professional. And let's have some fun. But I'm going to introduce you to Devin. So let me change the screen here. Welcome to the show, Devin.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. I'm glad you could show up. We'll get started here. A lot of times the notifications take a minute for people to when it goes live. So quite a few more people will be jumping in here in a second. But hopefully you had a good day today.
Yes, it was very good. How was your day?
It was good. I mowed the grass and got some stuff done today. So actually I've been procrastinating, and today was the day. So it worked out well.
I feel you.
Let's see here. So again, I appreciate you showing up. We had talked earlier about, seeing if we could get you on here and talk about women in the shooting sports and help promote women shooters. So we'll get started, but let's start off with just knowing who you are. Why don't you give us a little bit of background of where you grew up, where you're at, what you're doing, that kind of stuff.
Okay, I'm Devin. I'm from Virginia originally, but now I live in Alabama. I go to Auburn. I'm a college sophomore, and I shoot PRS, and I've been doing that for about 2 years now.
Awesome. I know you did really well the last match that we shot together, so congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see here. So we got quite a few people out there. Looks like they're starting to flow in. We got some people that you know. So Flow Impact, you might know him as Eduardo.
Hi, Eduardo. How are you?
We got Bravado Racing out there. Big countries in the house. He's from Florida as well. Tyler Orth, Seabeck, Chris Estes, I think it used to be Andy Lowe. A-Lowe now. John Rollins and Willard's out there. Keith Gregory, Martin Sharp, and they'll keep coming on here. So now it sounds like everybody's getting their invites of the thing going live. We got Les out there, Mr. Papa's Place. So welcome everybody. Tonight, if you guys missed last night's chat, was trying to really push the women shooters to get more people out there to have fun. And we got Devin on here, and she's going to help us promote the PRS style of it. We did NRL yesterday, and today we'll push some PRS style stuff and have a good time. So let's see what we got going on here. So shooting, you said you've been doing it for 3 years. Did you grow up as a kid like shooting 22s? Like, when was the first time you shot a rifle or pistol?
I started pretty young. My extended family owns a farm, and so every Thanksgiving we'd go out there and shoot pistols, shoot rifles, but it was always within 100 yards. And so I didn't actually get past that until I started doing PRS shooting. And that's when I really fell in love with it and felt like this was something I wanted to do competitively.
Did you ever try any other shooting sports like three gun or like any of those at all?
I have always been super interested in them. I have so much respect for everyone that does them. Unfortunately, cannot shoot a pistol to save my life. Like, my aim for some reason is just not where I want it to be with that at all. So that's kind of what's keeping me out of it. But I am practicing more and more. So hopefully that improves.
Well, I'm sure you didn't start off shooting rifles as good as you are now. So everything takes practice.
That is very true.
Let's see here. What is your favorite shooting day? The day you remember, just kind of a most memorable shooting day. It doesn't have to be at a match. It could have been with your dad or your best friend or whatever the case is. But is there one that pops into mind that you can think of?
I would say my first visit to K&M would probably be my most memorable. I had been shooting for probably a month at a local range near me with my dad and Joseph Hargrave, who kind of got me into the sport. And so he took us up to K&M one day, and that was my first time shooting past 400 yards. And I remember it so well because I actually hit the 1,000-yard target my first try, and
Nice.
it was just it. I mean, I caught the bug that day, and so that's the day that I remember the most out of all of them.
Do you remember what caliber that was?
That was with a dasher.
Okay.
I was shooting Joey's gun at the time.
Nice. We got Ryan Bergs asking, what cartridge are you shooting in PRS and how much does your rifle weigh?
So I am actually shooting 2 different cartridges right now. In my 2-day matches, I shoot a 6 dasher, and that gun weighs about 20 pounds. And in my 1-day matches, I've started shooting 308, and that gun is about 21, 22 pounds because it has a 28-inch barrel instead of 26.
Okay. Well, since we're talking about rifles already, which is good, let's talk about your sponsors first.
Okay, definitely. So I shoot GCP rifles. Rick Scrivens does all my gunsmithing. He's amazing. Cannot say any bad things at all. Nothing. All of my guns have been absolute hammers. I shoot them in foundation stocks. Again, amazing. I shoot Timney triggers on Armageddon gear bags, heart barrels, Area 419, muzzle brake. I have the Hellfire on my dasher and the Sidewinder on my 308, and I have collar scopes on both. And I think that's everything. Am I missing any key points? Any key parts?
Yeah, ballistics. How are you getting your ballistics?
Oh, magneto speed, and I use a Kestrel as well.
Kestrel, okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, you rattled on like you just know exactly what you're talking about. I'm sure that was I don't know. I was like hearing that.
Yes.
It's like, I'm not sure what I shoot. Somebody just put my rifle together and I go shoot. So that was pretty awesome, Devin.
Thank you. That's always been super important to me is, know what I'm talking about, learn as much as I can, and not just be here pulling a trigger. I actually want to know how everything works, what I'm doing. I am super interested in reloading and getting to know more about that. I obviously have to reload for my dasher, but being at school right now makes that pretty difficult. So shout out to Joey for loading all of my dasher ammo for me while I'm at school. I really appreciate it.
Dang, I want to go to school just so somebody reloads my ammo. That's cool. Can't beat that for sure. Let's see what we got here. We got Dick Hedges is out there as well.
Hi.
Jason Tarrant.
Hi, Dad.
That's Dad. Welcome, Dad. Welcome to the show. Let's see. Lance Hawley. Who else are we missing? I haven't got yet. Westland Spence. Abigail's out there from Florida. John Kreiderman. Drew Bradley. Gator 157. I think I caught up to everybody. If I haven't said your name yet, let me know. What's the difference from 243 to 6mm Creed to your dasher? Will you be able to answer that?
So the difference, I know for sure that the dasher is fire formed and from a 6BR, and so they make dasher brass, but before it was fire forming. But I'm not too sure on how it compares to a 6 Creed. Hi, Rick.
Look who's out there.
Hi, Rick.
Well, that's a tough thing. So you had a chance to shoot the 1,000 with what you said. You said the dasher, correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you're shooting a 6 GT now?
I still shoot a dasher.
Oh, you still shoot? Okay, Dasher.
Mhm.
I think he was trying to get, maybe it was a recoil kind of question.
I know that the Dasher has less recoil than a 6 Creed. I do know that for sure.
All right. Welcome to the show, Rick. Had a chance to meet Rick at the, where were we at? Cool, what the hell's the name of that place?
Cool Acres?
Cool Acres. That's right. That was a fun match. The MPA match, 2-day match. So,
Yes, that
welcome
was
to the
a
show.
very fun match.
How were you introduced to PRS? Just curious as I raised my little girl, Tyler Orth, or as my little girl. Yeah, Tyler Orth's got a daughter, actually, that he's been trying to get into the PRS world. So,
Joey Hargrave is my neighbor. I'm sure a lot of you guys know him. He shoots PRS, and I shot some air rifle in high school. And so I took a gap year between high school and college and wanted something to kind of fill that time a little bit, pick up a new hobby. And so I was always interested into getting into some type of high power shooting. And I found out that someone that lives in my neighborhood does it competitively. So he took me and my dad out to the range and kind of got us into it. And I mean, it just stuck instantly. It was so much fun.
does your dad ever shoot?
My dad does shoot, yes. He's been
Awesome.
taking a little break recently due to lack of supplies and having to buy supplies for 2 shooters instead of just 1.
I feel his pain. I feel the pain. What bullets are you shooting?
I shoot Burger 105 hybrids.
All right, that's another. Those are tough to find.
Yes.
They're findable though, because I just found 2,000 of them. So, but
Really?
they're tough to find. Yeah.
If you have a guy, let me know.
Let's see. I can't remember who sent me a link. I think it's Charles. Charles had sent me a link. It's weird because the shooting community, it's like they'll email you like a spot, like where ammo's at right now, and then you're like, if you can get there fast enough, there might be some left.
Yes.
And that's kind of how I got lucky with that, because I posted that to a couple other buddies, and this is just minutes later after my order went through. But I sent it to them, and they're all, sold out. I'm like, oh man.
I just joined the shooting Discord, and that has been really, really helpful. I needed Varget desperately, and within like a week of joining that, I was able to find some. So that's super helpful.
Tell us more about that.
So it's an app called Discord. I might be able to put a link in the chat. I'm not too sure how that you can link to it.
You can put it in the private chat, and I can push it over.
Okay. I'm not super familiar with how Discord works either. Like how
Is it a membership thing?
It's just an app. You don't have to you just make an account. You don't have to pay for it or anything like that. But invite, share link. Okay.
Good question, Mr. Hedges. Ba-da-da-da. Yeah, see where it says private chat?
Yes. Okay.
You can put it in there, and then I can post it on the.
Okay.
All right, let me grab that, and I will post it.
Eduardo, I agree. I have the notification set up on my watch.
Yeah, Eduardo, he's good at getting stuff too. All right, there's a link to that. Appreciate that, Devin.
Definitely.
And let's see, we got Jason. Oh, let me answer this question. Well, you answered this question really quick because it's for you. Where the heck did it go? What are your goals for the year from Mr. Hedges?
My goals for the year are definitely to find more time to practice. I did not realize it is not like riding a bike. Once you have something down, you can lose it just as quickly. And so being at school has made that really difficult to find a place and find the time to practice. And so just getting back out to the range more. I mean, all of last year, my practices were at tune-up for a 2-day match. That would be, I wouldn't be able to touch my gun again until I got to my next match. And so it really
That makes
showed
it tough.
in my shooting. Yes, it was pretty rough and just really frustrating too, because in the time I didn't have any answers for these problems. Like, I could not find a range anywhere near me. And so it was just like I was stuck. I couldn't fix anything. But luckily, I finally have found a range. Thank you, Tom Fuller at Armageddon Gear, for allowing me to come out there and practice. And I am super excited now because I cannot wait to be able to go to a match and not have to automatically be at a disadvantage because I have not practiced at all.
No, that's what I agree 100%, Devin. It's not a full-time job, but in order to get better, you got to practice, whether it's dry firing or just going out to the range and putting a lot of rounds down downrange. It's the only way to stay proficient. And I can tell when I'm not doing as great as I should, which is a lot. And I even practice a lot. It's just, it's important, right? So what would you say a good training day for you is? Like, if you were to go to the range, you had all your gear, all your stuff, what would be something you would work on? Like, what would your training day consist of?
So, assuming unlimited rounds, because that can determine how much I do and how much I dry fire and that kind of stuff. Assuming rounds are unlimited, I really focus on just movements and getting into position, taking one shot, changing positions. Because if you can hit your first shot in that position and you're steady, why waste a bullet doing it again? Just keep moving. I do a lot of 10 rounds, 10 position stages, and do it on time and focus on moving quickly so then I have time to set up and time to get on target, because I'd much rather rush moving around than rush my shot. And so if I can do 10 rounds in a minute and a half in 10 positions, then I feel like I have been successful.
Yeah, that's a lot of moving.
Yes.
That's a lot of moving, because you figure it's mostly 2 shots in 5 positions for a total of 10. So if you got to move 10 times, there's some moving and grooving. Your dad says he has yet to beat you at a competition, and first world problem, checking egos at the door. Do you do any of the dad smack talking after the matches, or you just let it be?
I try to avoid it because I do have to stay on his good side. He is supporting me a lot, and so I kind of butter him up maybe a little bit, and I gotta keep it civil. I gotta keep it civil.
I hear you. Let's see. Smartwatch, no supply shortage. Let's see here. Just wanted to stop in and say hello. What's up, Eric? Let's see. We got more questions. How do I get a notification on my analog watch? You buy a better watch, buddy. Let's see. Haven't heard of that one. I run an Enforce 800 like an angled button. What? See any questions out there? Let me know. Why waste a bullet in the same position if you just hit the target? That's a T-shirt right there, Ryan Berg says.
I agree. Yeah.
She talks so much smack. Yeah. Now, when you were at the match, I don't know, what was it, a month ago? You were just calm, cool, and collective. You had bad stages like the rest of us did, and you weren't running around causing a ruckus about it.
That is my biggest thing. I like to pride myself on not getting upset over stages. If I have a bad stage or a good stage, I don't want anyone to know that just like walked up. Like, they shouldn't be able to tell based on my face that I just had a bad stage, because I appreciate being there so much, and I'm like just so grateful for the time and the opportunity to be able to do it, that why waste any of that time being upset about anything? I mean, you can't take it back. Being upset isn't going to change anything. And being upset is just going to make it worse when you get to your next stage and it's still in the back of your mind. I just forget it. Just it's done.
That's something I'm still working on. Is trying to just completely get it out. It's like, okay, that stage was horrible. I got a brand new stage to start over. Let's try again, and hopefully it goes better than that first day. That was windy. That was super windy. That was tough.
It was.
And your dad says that you do talk mad smack, by the way.
Never.
Let's see here. How often do you clean your rifle barrel, and do you have any favorite rifle cleaning products? LZ USA wants to know.
I clean my barrel probably after, I would say, it depends, honestly. Like, I just had 3 matches in a row, and if it's shooting really good at these matches, then I don't want to mess with it until I'm done with those. So I just cleaned it after those 3, but I mean, that was what, 450 rounds or so. So I would say that's about when I do it. People may argue that I should clean my rifle more than I do, but I haven't had any issues so far, and it's been good. But I feel like my dad might know the brands of the rifle cleaning products that we use. Dad, if you want to put those in the chat, I think we use Hoppies a lot.
Yeah, Hops 9.
Mm-hmm.
It's a solvent. Yeah, they make great products.
Yes.
Let's see here. Mr. Hedges says he mostly heard Corey and I talking smack, not Devin.
I think he means Rick Scrivens too. Rick Scrivens.
Oh, yeah, probably him too. We all had a couple stages. I had quite a few of those, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you shot a 22 PRS match?
So, funny thing is, I have not shot a 22 match. I have created the Course of Fire, and assistant Joey Match directed a 22 match. So, I mean, I think I did a good job making it. It was hard because I had never shot one before to be able to make one, but normally the only 22 matches that were near me were Joey's matches, and I normally just helped run them and set things up and that kind of stuff. So there wasn't a whole lot of time for me to shoot them.
All right, so let's see. Do you use any particular barrel break-in routine?
Again, it depends on my situation. Being at school makes that a little difficult sometimes. Sometimes you just have to run with 50 rounds down the barrel, but ideally, I like to get about 100 to 150 before I consider it actually broken in. But
okay. Yeah, a lot of people want to know. She made a 30-second stage and blamed Joey.
Joey was the one that changed it to 30 seconds. I had it at 1:30 and he changed it. I promise that wasn't me. I wouldn't do that to you guys.
So what are you going to college for?
I'm an engineering major.
Okay. Very nice. Let's see here. Well, let's get into some of the lady stuff. As far as how is it being a woman shooting in kind of a 95% man's game right now?
It has definitely been interesting, to say the least. I have enjoyed it a lot. I would say that it makes me a lot more competitive because you're kind of around a whole lot of competitive people, as I'm sure you know. And a lot of the times it's been difficult because, as I'm sure you also know, the stages aren't exactly built for someone of my stature. They don't design them with me in mind, for sure. So there's there's been some heights that I definitely couldn't reach, and that's been a little difficult to overcome. I've gotten really, really good at shooting on my tippy toes. People are like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you're hitting targets and not like shaking. I honestly don't know either. I guess just practice and doing it over and over again. Because even my barricade at home, I have to stand on my tippy toes to do the PRS barricade there too.
Which is
So
probably good. You know, it's not flat-footed, and then you go somewhere, and then you're like not practicing what you probably need to. Now, I know you're shorter than I am. I'm 5'8". You're how tall are you?
I'm 4'11".
4'11". Yeah. So trying to get into some of those stuff. I mean, I'm on my tippy toes. There's been stages where I've had to basically use my pump pillow to stand on, you know, so I don't even know what you would do. You know, I know you're allowed to bring stuff to stand on. I mean, you know what I mean? They have at the range kind of stuff. But yeah, that's definitely a concern. One for kind of safety if you get kind of wobbly or whatever, but it is tough. Some of the stages that are kind of built by guys that are like 6'3", you know, they're like, oh yeah, it's right about here. And then the rest of us get up there. We're like trying to get the rifle up and stuff.
Luckily, I shoot at a lot of the same ranges, and so the match directors know that I will be there, and so there's normally like a cinder block like laying there ready for me, and the RO on the stage will be like, yeah, they said that you were coming, they said this was for you. And so it's definitely a little bit more challenging trying to navigate, and I'm already kind of a clumsy person, so trying not to fall off of a cinder block or trip over it as I'm running a barricade just adds one more layer to it.
Yeah. You know what? You did well. You did well with that match we shot out. Yeah. And it makes it easier though on the low ones, right? We got some advantage on the other ones.
It does. On barricades where you can, like a ladder where you can pick certain positions on it, I am always picking the lowest ones to the ground because they're the most steady for me and I can actually get down into them.
Let's see. Lately, this last year, you breaking your barrels in at a club match, save components. Yeah, but no ammo available. It's like, we'll just figure it out on the go. Let's see.
Yes.
Let's see. The Barefoot Assassin.
Yes.
Is that a name they gave you?
I shot an entire one-day barefoot one time, and now the name kind of stuck. It was really, really muddy, and I didn't want to get my shoes all muddy, and I hate wet socks, so I did the whole match barefoot. That's
pretty good. I totally understand the wet sock thing. That drives me nuts, but I don't think I could have pulled off a barefoot action.
It was fun, and it was a cold match, and so my feet actually stayed pretty warm, sunk in the mud.
Is there any match that you want to go to that?
I would love to go to, there's quite a few actually. I would love to go to Punisher Positional, the Hornady match out west. I want to say is it Wyoming?
It's Utah.
Utah, okay. And the Wisconsin Barrel Maker are 3 matches that I've heard great things about and really want to make it out to.
Utah, that one was an amazing. This is the PRC. I shot it 2 years ago. It was the first match I ever did. I had no idea what I was getting into. I was shooting that rifle right there, and that is not set up for PRS in any shape, form, or fashion. And I did horrible, and it gave me a want to try to like get better because you're shooting across canyons, so your bullets, it's getting off one side of the canyon, but then you also have updraft. So I got to learn all sorts of stuff, and so if you do ever get a chance to go out there, I actually shot with Allison Zane and Keith Baker. Somehow I ended up in the Stamp squad. And they had cameras everywhere that followed us around. And I'm the guy that couldn't even hit hardly anything. And the farthest target was like 1398, and I never at the time shot that rifle past 700. So I was way in over my head. I had no idea why I was even there. So at least if you showed up, you would know a lot more than that.
That is one thing I'm grateful for as well. I got lucky because I met Joey before my first match. So I went into my first match all, PRS ready. It wasn't, a Ruger factory or anything like that, because I had someone who knew exactly what I should get and exactly what build I should do and everything.
Yeah, that helps, having someone to bounce stuff off of or has a really good insight into the sport already. It was fun. I know Ray and I went out there, had no expectations and knowing what we were doing, and he did decent and I did horrible. I think I got like two from last place. So I beat 2 people, but it was probably because their gun broke in half and they couldn't finish the match. I don't know why I even got, but it was fun. It was humbling, and it was a good time. And it's a fun story. We got Zachary out there as well.
Hi, Zach.
Let's see. Joseph Hargraves out there.
Hi, Joey.
Is that who you were talking about, Joey?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, Joey. Let's see. DW. Making sure everybody got Steve Headley out there. She does do some reloading.
Mm-hmm. I do. I have to reload for my 6-dasher. Currently, I am not doing it myself, though, because I am in a college apartment where there is hardly room to walk around, let alone have an entire reloading setup. So Joey reloads for me right now. Thank you again, Joey. And so once I get back to Huntsville for the summer, then I'll pick back up again.
Could you even reload in a college dorm or whatever it is? I mean, I know how colleges are so anti-gunish. I don't know about Alabama, but like overall.
I couldn't have my gun in my dorm last year, but I'm off campus in an apartment now. So okay. I'm honestly not sure if I'm supposed to have it here, but they're not allowed to come in and check. So okay. Yeah.
Do you conceal carry?
I have my concealed carry. Yes. Oh, awesome. I don't carry often because 90% of the time I am on a college campus where that is not allowed, or I'm traveling out of state to a match and I am not old enough to carry outside of the state of Alabama.
That's right. She's following all the rules, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Dad said, shh.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. It's a team reunion. Dick says, yeah, you got quite a few people from your team on here.
Yes. Thank you guys for coming.
Let's see. No standard PRS live chat background rifle on a tripod canted. What the hell? Was that an inside joke?
Not on this end. I think he just means when there's PRS lives, people like to have it on a tripod in the background, have their rifles there.
Oh, yeah. This is where they sit. The other wall is boring. I was setting up a new wall. Oh, you wouldn't know because you don't watch this channel. But I'm working on that being a backstop. My old backstop over there, or whatever you want to call it, background, is in the middle of an upgrade. So we're working on that.
Okay. It looks really, really good.
Yeah, it's this place was looking really, really nice. And then I had a flood and I had to rip out the floor that I just put in like a week before. Nah, probably a month before. And I was super sad. And then I kind of just got, I don't know, disappointed and haven't like been full steam ahead anymore. So it's unfortunate.
No, and things like that happen. It's just hard because, I mean, there wasn't much you could do to stop it. And it's just like all your hard work.
Yeah, down the drain. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see here. So what are some of the ways that you think would help entice more women to come into the sport of shooting?
That is a really good question. My biggest thing is like internal motivation versus external, because at the end of the day, people will make the choices that they want to make and do what they want to do. And yes, it's great to do things like this and bring awareness that, this community is super accepting of all women that want to shoot, anyone that wants to shoot, really. But you have to really, really want it, because as you know, this isn't something that is easy to just kind of do halfway or dip your toes in. It's super important to have your whole heart into it and really be motivated to get there on your own. But to any women watching that want to get into it, I have no complaints. One of the best decisions I've ever made was getting into this sport and this community, and I have loved it ever since.
Awesome. Joey's got a question here for you. Of all the matches you shot, what was the easiest, hardest, and most favorite?
Okay. Let's see. Easiest. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm at a level yet where I could say that a match was easy, because if I don't win it, how easy could it have been? And so I don't think I have an easiest match. My favorite match would probably be the Altus AI match last year. I didn't go to this one this year because I was at MPA, as you know, but I just had an absolute blast at that match. I love that range and the way it's set up. And of course, your favorite match is going to be one you shot really, really well in. And so I was able to take home top lady and top junior, and it was so much fun. I really felt accomplished after that match. I mean, there's not many matches that I walk away feeling like I was like satisfied with how I did, but that's when I can truly say that I felt really satisfied with my performance.
Now, do you have a percentage of hit ratio that you're trying to beat? Like I always tell a lot of people, like, there's people that go there knowing they're not going to get first, second, third, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a progression of trying to get better. And I'm like, it doesn't matter what score you got, first, second, or third. Like, what was your hit factor compared to the last time you hit? Like, did you get a 48% and then this time you got a 68%? Like, like that's the number you want to like have encouragement on.
I would say at a 1 day, I aim for probably 80% or higher. And then at a 2 day, probably 70% or higher would, make me feel really good, basically.
Yeah.
But I don't get super caught up in the numbers of it all. That's not like I never keep score during a match. If people come up to me and they're like, "How many are you down?" and I'm like, if I can't count it on one hand, I'd stop time. Like,
yeah, I was gonna ask you that next. Like, like, do you keep track of your scores?
No, never. I am super big on keeping all the stages separate. I honestly don't think of it as one big competition. I just think of it as a bunch of small stages. And so I don't combine any of that. And I walk away and forget that one, because now I'm at a new stage in a new competition and I have to focus on that one. And so, and honestly, the score is not why I'm there at all. I'm there because I love it and I love the people that I'm around and just socializing. Like I tell people, I'm there to hang out, and then I just so happen to be shooting at the same time.
Yeah.
And so it's just really fun for me. And as soon as I get in my own head about scores and hits and misses, it just takes away from time that could be spent, making memories and having fun.
No, that's a great positive attitude for sure. You were really well. You were taking so if you guys don't know, never been to one of these style matches, you got the RO, basically the range officer that has the timer and stuff, but there's someone that needs to be on the clock, someone spotting hits, and Devin was always on glass watching the hits. I mean, it's awesome, and it's always good to share that kind of stuff. So one person can get ready and then someone else is doing it kind of thing. But you're always in there, rip roaring, ready to go. So.
Yes. That was actually my first match that I had gone to where I had my own glass.
Okay.
So, I mean, at my height, not having your own glass is quite difficult because 99% of the people you're shooting with, you won't be able to see into their binos at all. So, finally, I have my own glass. I did not want to come off of them. I wanted to stay on. And before I had that, I was always running timer or running iPad because I like to keep my mind busy and I don't want to sit and be still and think about things and, let things simmer and get off the stage. Like, I just want to keep pushing ahead and keep going. And that helps me do that. And on top of that, it's helpful to everyone else in the squad because they can do what they need to do. I just really enjoy it.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a good time. I mean, you had your hat backwards the whole day. You were like ready to rock. You're like, yeah, let's get this going. I was like, she means business. Watch out, people. No, that's good. Someone had asked how you like your callus.
I love it. I really do. I have a 525 on my dasher and a 624 on my 308, and I love both of them. They're great.
Ryan Berg says, what's the toughest match you shot in? I don't know if you answered that one or not.
Toughest match. This NPA one, no, okay. The toughest match I shot was definitely the season finale in Oklahoma. Not last year, but the year before. That match was rough, and I don't think it was really supposed to be as bad as it was. I mean, although it was a finale, they definitely did not anticipate the weather that was going to come. And unfortunately, my weakness is cold weather when it comes to shooting.
Kryptonite.
I cannot overcome being cold. It's just it's awful. And it was snowing and windy, and you could hardly see targets. And that was my first time shooting out west. And it was, I would say, another really hard aspect of that match was finding your targets. Because as you probably know, with matches out west, like there's no identifiers. Everything is flat. Everything looks the same. Like here in the Southeast, I can be like, oh, it's to the left of this tree, or it's not up this valley, it's up that one. But everything out there is just barren, basically. And so it was super hard to find targets. That was just a really tough match, but a really, really good learning experience.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like a tough one. Yeah, and I mean, I've shot in some pretty cold weather, and it's hard to hit a target when your body's shaking, trembling, and
Yes.
It makes it a little tough. I like what Joey says here. He says, rule 1, have fun. Rule number 2, all calls are from center. If you don't follow rule number 1, let's go home. Rule number 2 can be flexed. Good stuff there. Good stuff. Let's see.
Oh, he blames me for day 2 of Oklahoma because it was day 1 wasn't bad, but day 2 was the snowy 15 degrees day, and they wanted to call it and go to breakfast and not go to the match. And I was like, we came all the way out to Oklahoma to shoot this match. I'm not just going to go to Cracker Barrel instead. So if you guys want, you can just drop me off and you guys can go to breakfast. And then they were saying that they just couldn't be shown up by a girl and let me be tougher than them. So then they felt like they had to shoot it also. And now they will not let me live it down. But I don't regret it. I would do it again.
What? That's positive attitude. I mean, hey, we're here to go shoot this match, even if we're going to freeze to death. Let's die shooting. You know what I mean? Let's see.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's not very happy about that. I'm reading the comments right now. Was that an AG Cup as well? Because I know that the targets are usually smaller.
Is the PRS, is the pro finale an AG Cup match? I'm not sure. It may have been. I think it was actually, because it was before the AG like finale.
Oh, so they're saying no.
No.
I just remember that Utah one that was an AG Cup, and then I come to find out that the targets are even smaller. I'm all great. Great. Let's have a little bit of fun. Favorite movie and favorite candy. Break it up a little bit here.
I would say my favorite movie is probably The Shining. I know that's a little, I don't know, lame, but I do really love that movie. And favorite candy, I would probably say Reese's peanut butter eggs. Not the regular cups, but the eggs. Those are my favorite.
So then you have to wait all year for those to show up.
Yes. Well, eggs can be interchangeable with like trees or pumpkins, just the shaped Reese's versus like the regular ones.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with the regular ones?
They're just different. They're not, I love them. Still.
They are a shape. They're round.
A fun shape.
I'm just giving you a hard time. DW says, what's your favorite rifle on Rick's wall?
Can I get some stats on them? Can I hear what they all are?
You got a 6 Creedmoor on top. That's the one that couldn't hit anything at the MPA. The one underneath it is a 360 Voodoo that sucks ass in a Skittles chassis. You'd probably like that, the color of it. Let's see. Below that's just a Matrix chassis. Over here is that's a Tika. That's in 6.5 Creedmoor with the Thunder Beast suppressor on it. And then right below that is the Remex, which is an amazing 22 long rifle. And then actually quite a few of my stuff is upstairs. But 2 3-gun rifles shotguns right here. This one's my backup. That one's my Benelli. And then over here, actually, because I was a huge sporting clay shooter, that's a Browning. That's a golden clay shotgun, which is beautiful. And then just a bunch of ARs sitting over here and an M1 carbine. That one, if I could get my damn pointer finger in right, that's that was the first rifle I ever bought. That's an M1 carbine.
Okay, I would have to say the Skittles. I do like the Skittles one.
Yeah.
But you bring up shooting clays. That's one thing I've never done that I am dying to try and see if I'm any good at. It looks so much fun.
It is a lot of fun. It's neat because it's all aspects of hunting, basically. You know, you're shooting clays, but it's like you got ones that fly like ducks, you got ones that bounce on the ground like rabbits, you got everything in between. I was lucky enough to shoot I shot in Hawaii, Lanai. It was the 1999 Pacific Open or whatever the hell it was called. But I shot with Tom Selleck. We were on the same squad together, and really awesome guy. But do you even know who Tom Selleck is?
I don't.
You don't? Okay, yeah, I figured.
It sounds really familiar.
There's an age barrier there. He would be, some of his latest things is True. Oh, what's his latest one? He used to be it's called Blue Bloods. You ever seen that show?
Oh, is he the one with the mustache?
Yeah, he's the older guy.
Okay.
That's Tom Selleck. He used to be like I don't even know how to put this without being silly, but the women adored him. He was like, this was years ago though. It was Magnum PI, and the girls just loved him anyways. But yeah, super great guy, and I had a good time shooting with him.
That sounds really fun.
Big question: does Devin drink sweet tea, and if so, what brand? That is.
I love sweet tea, definitely. Brand is Chick-fil-A a brand? I mean, yeah. I would say I don't normally buy it like at the store, but I guess if I did, I think I'd probably get Milo's sweet tea. That one's pretty good.
That one's good. This one's Nectar of the Gods right here.
Oh, I've had those. Those are really good too.
Yeah, I unfortunately drink quite a bit of this, and I shouldn't.
No, I am a super big water drinker. So, I mean, I don't often drink, so like I don't drink sodas at all, but so sweet tea is like my like treat drink that I have.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing. Let's see. I'm trying to read some comments here, see if there are questions.
Oh, Eduardo asked why GCP over Other Gunsmiths. So I agree that I mean there's a lot of good gunsmiths in the PRS community. That's probably one of the tougher decisions that I've had to make since starting. And I met Rick personally before he was my gunsmith at a match, and I really enjoyed talking with him, and he asked me to join Team GCP. And so I went out on a whim and joined his team before I actually had a gun reamed by him, but I have not yet been disappointed. They have been amazing rifles and absolute hammers. Like, I have not had any issues since then, and it's been great.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys. I've seen some of the rifles that he's built at that match, at the MPA match. They look nice. I want to try that Vision chassis. Oh no, you're running a Foundation, aren't you?
Yes, if I were to run a chassis, that is what I would run. But I've actually never used a chassis, but I've always just been into stocks and just the feel of them, and I love the Foundation for its feel and how it absorbs the recoil, and it's been great. But yeah, if I had to choose a chassis, I would definitely go with the Vision.
Do you notice the grip being too fat
on the Foundation?
Yeah.
I don't wrap my hand like all the way around it. I put my fingertips on the front of the grip. I don't know if you can see how I do that, but like, so if this is like the trigger, then I put my fingertips on the front, because I used to grip really hard and like it would mess with my trigger pull. So now I don't grip at all, and I just put my fingers like right below the trigger well.
Are you pulling back into your shoulder at all, or no? Are you letting it free recoil?
I kind of lean a little bit versus like bringing it to me, but it's a lot of free recoil.
Yeah, there's a lot of different thoughts on how people go about, certain stages and stuff like that. And like from shooting from a tripod versus a barricade or whatever the case is. So it's kind of nice to see. Right. Do you run a pump pillow? Someone was asking about pillows.
I don't. I've tried. I don't think I know how. I've never used it and felt different, so I don't think I'm using it the right way. But I'm definitely very interested in using it.
Marksman 92. It's a big ass bag from Armageddon Gear is the one. I think mine's up. Actually, mine's in the truck. But yeah, that comes in super. I use it. I try to utilize it for everything where I'm not standing on a barricade, because it definitely makes your foundation sturdier. Because there's a time when you're in between here and being able to put your arm on your knee.
Right.
You know what I mean? And see, that's going to be much different from somebody that's, 6'5", and then there's you, and then there's kind of me in the middle. So we're going to utilize those bags differently throughout the day.
Right. I will say, I feel like if I ever wanted it to be something that I used, I would need to put a lot of time into moving with it, because right now I like the least amount of things I can have with me is best, because I don't have a whole lot of height to spread out items. You know, if I have it like strapped to me, then it takes up space from something else, like my rifle or my other bag, just to be able to move around and navigate through things.
What were you were sitting on something when we were on, I don't remember what stages it was. Was it a chair?
No, that was one of those bags. It's Rick Scroven's bag.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was gonna say that's one of the benefits of that. Like when we shoot team sniper matches and like Snipers Unknown, there's times where you're waiting like 45 minutes to an hour because everything's blind. You're waiting for your turn.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I tell you what, having something to sit on instead of standing, because you got pistols on you sometimes and all that stuff.
Yes.
It makes it nice to be able to sit.
I do love it for that. No, I knew he had one and I didn't see it with him. And he was like, oh, I left it in the truck. I probably won't use it. And I was like, do you care if I go grab it? I'll watch it all day. You don't have to worry about it. I'll put it back in your truck. And so I brought it around with me all day.
Ryan, we asked this question already, but go ahead, Devin.
I have not. I am not super good at pistol shooting. I do love shooting ARs. I just don't have a whole lot of practice with how 3-gunners shoot ARs. It's kind of just like more for fun versus actually running through a stage or even just moving around in general. But I'd love to try it at some point.
It's a lot of fun. I call it the NASCAR of shooting because it's completely different from PRS style stuff. I will say that PRS has definitely helped me, and I don't shoot a lot of matches of 3-gun, but the ones I do shoot, when it comes to the rifle stuff for farther distances, I feel a lot more comfortable figuring out a way to get a good stable position.
Really?
And it has helped actually. So it's kind of nice.
No, definitely. I've felt like, honestly, like the only, like, I don't know how to word it, but my trigger pull with my rifle, when I go back to shooting pistol, it makes it a little difficult because I'm used to such a light trigger. And then I'm waiting. And then I get really like surprised by it because I felt like it should have gone off by then. And so it's definitely not that my pistol shooting could get worse, but I feel like it's made my pistol shooting a little bit worse that I have focused on rifles so much.
No, for sure. That's my problem. I was shooting a ton of like NRL and PRS 22 stuff. And then I went to shoot a match. I think it was this one, a Memorial 3-gun for a bunch of the people that had passed away in the line of duty, fighting for our freedoms. But I got up there on one stage and I was trying to, like on our bolt guns, the mag release is at the bottom, and I forgot that it's right here on the. So I'm like, what the hell? And then I'm like, oh yeah, AR, okay. And so yeah, trying to shooting multiple disciplines is kind of get you a little flustered, but
definitely.
Let's see here.
Seen a few.
Has Devin come on the show before? No. No, first time. Let's see here.
Someone asked my go-to firearm for home defense. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Can or do you want me to answer?
Yeah, wherever. I didn't see it. Let me see if I can find it first.
Okay.
And I'll highlight it. But go ahead and I'll find it here.
Okay. I have a Glock 19 for home defense things, and I love it. It's nice and compact and fits in my hand well, and it's been great. I try to get it out to the range as much as I can. Definitely been slacking there, because if I do find time to go to the range, it's definitely to shoot rifle over pistol, but I really do love it.
Yeah, no, it's good to be proficient in all firearms. That's the one thing I do like about 3-gun is you got to keep your skills up on a pistol, a rifle, and a shotgun. So it is a good thing but I think I definitely enjoy shooting a bolt gun more than anything. it's definitely more of a passion than the other sports.
Yes. I feel like a lot of people are the opposite. They think like bolt gun shooting is slow and boring, but I think it's as high paced as you make it. And
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they just haven't shot a match then.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If they're saying that, they haven't shot a 90-second stage with 10 positions and 10 different targets. I mean, I don't know. It'll make my head spin. And
I know. And 90 seconds has never felt shorter. I always am surprised that I'm out of time when I am.
you run a timer
On my rifle
or on a watch?
I don't know. I don't like to focus on the time because I want to be able to just, take the shots that I can take and not worry about trying to rush. I'd rather, get 8 really good hits than take 10 shots and only hit 6 of them. So I never worry about the time. People are like, "Oh, do you want me to tell you when you've hit a minute?" And I'm like, "No, please don't, because it'll just get in my head and make me rush, and I'd rather do it."
See, when I remember to actually turn the damn thing on, because it's not on this watch, but I bought a iWatch or whatever the heck it's called just for that one app. That's it.
Really?
And when I'm running it, I have it set up so it'll say 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll go to 10 seconds and then countdown. But I almost feel like I can go slower.
Really?
Because and then it's like I'm on my last shot or whatever, and it might say 30 seconds. So you got to think of that as well. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh my God, I got a lot of extra time. And it's like taking your time, really, so it can be beneficial. Think of it, just try it on a training day, the opposite way. And you're like, man, I got so much time here. I really feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I never thought of it like that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because I know, like, when I'm on my last shot, and even if it's going 10, 9, 8, I'm already there, and I know that now I have 6 extra seconds.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Try it, and somebody I'm sure has that app and watch. Just try it on a couple stages, and you might actually like it.
I definitely will. Definitely.
Let's see. Let's see here. Okay. I think we're caught up on those questions. We're doing good. We're at an hour. We only got 28 minutes left, guys. So, or gals, if you have any questions for Devin, make sure you put them in there before we get out of here. So let's get back to the women promoting thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have friends who you're like, hey, I'll take you to the range, or like, are they like, what do you shoot? Like it's all like scary. Like, Devin, you shoot guns?
No, they love it. I am in a sorority here at Auburn, and they all love to hear about my gun stuff, and they want to come to the range, and they're super interested in it, but still just a little standoffish because it is really different than a lot of other hobbies that people have. But everyone I've talked to about it has been super supportive and super interested.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do any hunting? Conservative Sniper Hunter was asking.
I do really enjoy hunting. I don't get out much because I don't have land to go out on, but I am definitely super interested in it and getting to do it more. I really want to go out west and do some big game stuff, but it's just finding the time and the money to do something like that. Maybe a graduation gift, Dad, if you're still in here.
Yeah, Dad.
Graduation gift.
A big elk hunt in Wyoming would be cool.
Yes.
Let's see here. Should definitely bring all your friends to the range. LOL, Zachary says.
It would definitely be a private event if I brought them all. I'm not going to bring all of my sorority sisters to a match.
Yeah, I can see that going bad.
Yeah, no.
No, but if you set up a range day for him one day, that'd probably be pretty cool.
Yes, it would be really fun. I really hope to soon. It's just about, finding a time where they all can and supplying everything for a bunch of people to shoot. It's a little hard at the moment.
Yeah. Now, is there a way for people to follow you on your shooting career side stuff? Do you do any like?
Yes, I have an Instagram. I am trying to get better at posting on it. I'm not super great right now. I know what 20-year-old isn't good at social media. Sorry, everybody, but I'm trying.
Can't be great at everything, right?
I can send you the in the private chat.
Okay, you want me to post it?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I'm reloading for that. Bet Dad is very proud. Yeah, we should have got Dad on here.
Yes. I hope so. I try to make him proud.
Let's see. Hell no, ammo is expensive. Tell them to get their own rounds. What's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy? Let's see here. Damn autocorrect. All right. Oh, okay, there it is. Let me copy this and paste it up here, down here. And there. All right, there is her Instagram link. You guys go over there and follow Devin and watch her on her shooting adventures.
Yes. I will do my very best to post.
Let's see. Any other things or ways you think that could get more, not even so much just women, but new shooters involved? Think of any ways that can help encourage the sport of shooting?
I would say maybe some like matches that are like just strictly for new shooters to come out, and like maybe instead of 10 stages it's like 5, and there's experienced shooters there, like similar to a class, but it's still like kept for score and that kind of stuff, so they can still get the competitive side of it all, but they maybe do like a stage walkthrough before everyone runs the stages, and you get to see how someone experienced would shoot it, and they point out things that maybe you didn't think about before, and you get to shoot with a lot of feedback and a lot of like assistance during, would really get people interested.
I think that's actually a great idea. Shoot closer, bigger targets, so you'll hear, you'll have the possibility of getting more impacts, which will definitely pump people up to want to like go order rifles and shoot and have a good time.
Yeah,
I like that actually. That's something that maybe some match directors could do on a Friday or something. Maybe have the match Saturday so it doesn't impact anything, but maybe do like a fun day kind of deal for new shooters or something.
No, definitely. I think that any match directors are here, definitely do that.
There's some out there. Let's see. Gap grind, but on a smaller scale would be awesome. That would be cool, actually. Yeah, like a pro-am kind of thing where you got someone, you're teamed up with somebody that can help you out would be another awesome way. Almost a one-day gap grind would be kind of pretty awesome.
Definitely. I mean, just because gap grind is so like big,
huge. Yeah.
You don't have obviously you're getting so much help, but there's not a whole lot of time for, taking things slow. You still have to shoot when you shoot because you have to get through everyone. I have a younger sister. She does not shoot. She shoots a little 22, but not a whole lot. We're kind of opposite. She may be in here. Hi, Dylan, if you're in here. But she's definitely a more artsy and creative, and I'm a little bit more outdoorsy. But I think she would like it if she really got into it more.
I think that's a lot of it is until you go do it, or until you're, been introduced to it, it's like you're never going to understand the sport, even if you watched a bazillion YouTube videos and, whatever. And just go do it. And that's one of the things we really promote here. Just sign up for Practice Score. Sign up. Go have fun. If you come in last place, who cares? You know what I mean? Go enjoy the day. You get to hang out with, great people, great community. And worst case, you're going to meet some friends at the end of the day.
Exactly. No, I agree 100%. And if anyone hasn't shot a PRS match and you're in the Southeast and you're going to a match that I'm at, squad with me. And I can, walk you through everything all day. That is one of my favorite things to do. I may not be the best shooter, but I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about. So I love helping people and getting people into it because I do want to see it grow. And I do want people to leave a match ready to, in the car, already looking for the next one to sign up for. Because that was me at my first match. I was on the way home. Hey, Dad, are we free this weekend? Because there's a match. And we should. And so
well, it's only 4 hours away, Dad.
It's a really short plane ride. Like, it's not that far.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's how you get to Utah or Wyoming or something. It's just a short 5-hour flight, Dad. That's it.
Yeah.
Last place in a match is better than first place on the couch, Jason says. Your dad says. Yeah.
That's the saying. Awesome.
We got Stephanie out there too. I would assume that's Mama song.
Yes, that's my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. We can't afford for anyone else to shoot in this family. Yeah, if that's the one downfall to this sport and any sport, really, if you get to the point where you're going to be running, really good gear of anything, fishing reels, just whatever, golf clubs. If you're buying the top of the line stuff, it's that pocketbook is definitely getting hit hard. But in the sport of rifle shooting, every scope's $3,000, rifles this and that. By the time you're done, you got $10,000 worth of crap just for one rifle and some gear. So it gets expensive.
Definitely.
Let's see. Well, any sponsors, anything you want to say before we head on out of here?
Sorry, I think there's
unless you saw a question up there.
My dad shoots. Someone asked if my parents are involved in shooting. My dad shoots, but my mom does not.
Come on, Mom, get out there and shoot.
She said we can't afford it.
Well, you just got to get more ammo sponsors and stuff.
Yes.
It's all on you, Devin. Get your sponsors to spin you up a couple more rifles and
Rick, if you're still in here,
yeah, Rick. Devin needs a few more rifles, and you can send me one too. Try it out.
But shout out to Rick at GCP. Thank you for all the support that you've given me since I've joined your team. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you to Joey for loading on my ammo again. Thank you to my dad for being so supportive and letting me do all these matches, even though I might not have the most time in the world for them right now. We still make time, which is great. Thank you to my mom for not trying to look around and see how much this costs. Just, maybe turning a blind eye sometimes. I appreciate it. Thank you to Foundation Stocks. Thank you to Timney Triggers. I'm trying to name sponsors now. Heart Rifle Barrels, Armageddon Gear. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and making it a little bit easier for me to keep shooting and doing what I love.
Awesome. All right. Well, everybody out there in the comment section, thanks for showing up. Thanks for, listening to hear what Devin and I have to say. And hopefully you guys are out there helping to promote the sport of shooting, whether it's taking your nieces and nephews, daughters and sons, whatever the case is, husband, wife, so on and so forth. Go out to the range, have some fun, and just enjoy a day of shooting and showing that the 2A community is not only just great people, but it is a great thing to go out and do as a family and enjoy. So that said, you guys have a great night. Don't hit any buttons yet, Devin.
Okay.
And other than that, stay safe and see you on the next one. Take care.
Bye.